Good morning, good night, or good evening, and today we are bringing you another premium ship review, Scharnhorst. Now, Scharnhorst is one of the, well, I guess Scharnhorst would be what, 5 or 6 years old now, I think? She's a pretty old ship in the game, and she's still got a punch. Now, for economic boost, nothing special. Standard one, not like Turpits where you get extra boosts, unfortunately. Sad. Armor-wise, 26 millimeter nose with an icebreaker of 70. Very chunky armor. And she has a 26 millimeter bow. So that is overmatchable, same as her bow. But you got to get past that icebreaker first. But she's still pretty heavily armored. Again, that superstructure is your main weakness. All this superstructure. So that's your only main weakness. As far as Citadel, classic German turtleback, below the waterline, very difficult to hit. To nigh impossible. For torpedo protection, 22%. Health pool wise, not very bad either. 56,300, so pretty good. Artillery wise, she gets a 20 second reload, 12 seconds between switching shells, turret rotation 20 seconds, and almost 20 kilometers in range. So very, very nice and respectable guns. The only downside is that these are basically big ass cruiser guns. So you're gonna be amazed. So Scharnhorst, like anyone knows, historically was a cruiser raider. Was basically a heavy cruiser raider in the Atlantic, or battle cruiser in the Atlantic that was raiding convoys. That's what she did, and that's why she has these guns. Now, her sister ship, Gneisenau, I don't have her in port, unfortunately. Gneisenau, not much difference. That's the only ship that can compare her to. So let's just bring up Gneisenau for you. Now, health pool wise, let's go to equipment. So 80, so about 58,000. So Gneisenau gets better health, but the only main difference is really, I believe in the guns. Yeah, Gneisenau gets 380s, Scharnhorst gets 283s. Big difference. So of course Gneisenau is going to have more overmatchability at that tier. Now, the only downside is that I consider Scharnhorst to be more accurate than Gneisenau. Gneisenau is kind of like a shotgun all over the place. So, Scharnhorst is just going to be a much accurate, more battleship. The torps aren't anything different. They're the same torps. Maneuverability, 30 seconds, or maximum speed 30 knots, 800 meter turning circle, and an 11.6 rudder shift. Now, I do run rudder shifts, so that, of course, takes it down. And you want to run rudder shifts because it is pretty painful. And since she is more of a battle cruiser, almost, you want that extra. You want that maneuverability. Concealment-wise, since she doesn't get the module, it is pretty painful. Now, I don't run concealment since this is just mainly an op ship for me anymore. But if you're going to run it in randoms, definitely take concealment. It is very hard to work with this thing. This feels like I'm working with a Fuso because of the sheer amount of detectability. So it's not the funnest to run as a lighthouse build, but it is a fun ship to run in ops with a lighthouse build. But she's a ship that has aged remarkably well. Remarkably well, she has aged very well. Like a fine piece of cheese or some wine. It only gets better with age. And she is one of the ships in the game that has aged better with age. She's still a very potent ship. I cannot think of a bad thing about this ship besides the low caliber guns, but that's not really a problem. Considering that she still overmatches most of the cruisers she would be facing in randoms. And if you're top tier and you're facing tier 5s, you still overmatch them. So she still has very potent guns. These, again, cruiser killing guns. And even if you're going to be in close with battleships, she still has a formidable secondary armament and her torps. So, And these things still Citadel battleships, so you're not like going all, but you have to be a lot closer than Gneisenau would have to be. So just keep that in mind. But let's get into the replay version of it, and I'll show you how to really play Gneisenau or Scharnhorst to her strengths. Now, there is one other Scharnhorst, which is the black version, and you can get this for Black Friday. So if you don't want to pick up the normal Scharnhorst, then you can pick up the black version, usually for a discount. And as for camo-wise, sorry, I completely forgot to give you this. She does have a few camos, too. So this is her Arctic camo that was given, as a reward for, completing a Christmas campaign. It's like how she served in the North Sea, so the icicles, kind of like how Edinburgh and Duke of York's are. Very, white, kind of flashy kind of camo. She does get a Z15 one, which you have to kind of pay money for. She does get a special camo, which is kind of interesting because it's and the red one really makes it kind of look cool because it is a shark face. Everyone loves the old shark face from the God, what were those guys? The Flying Tigers. Yeah, that was it, the Flying Tigers. Now for Scharnhorst's, normal camo, we got the default one right here. And then when you complete the collection and get the second one, you get this one. Honestly, there's not much difference. I think I like this one better just because of the design on the whole. But again, let's show you what she really does in a replay, and then you can decide if you want to pick this ship up. Hello, and welcome to the Scharnhorst review. This is Mr. Scharnhorst. Now, Scharnhorst has been in the game for a long, long time. And I got one of the best maps for it, too. Cherry Blossom. So you can imagine that I'm in a Scharnhorst and I'm in Cherry Blossom. I'm like, hell yeah, this is going to be a good match. And I'm like looking at my team, a Nuremberg, a New Orleans, Hipper, Ignacio, Flander, and a Fabeta. So, really good ships. The only ship that's really going to give me a run for my money is the Fabeta. Or, not the Fabeta, and the Flander. So, those are the ones I have to worry about.
Enemy force detected. Awaiting instructions. Enemy destroyer detected.
And I always have a very particular, just get to the middle position, use that middle position. And Osseo popping is surveillance radar. Again, that's a fun consumable. I will have that ship tomorrow. So I will be running that ship tomorrow on my birthday stream. And I did try blind shooting it, because I was like aiming, trying to aim just right. So I was going to do a blind shot. And you would think that would be like right on it, but when I got in range, I realized it was for some reason not on it. Fabeta getting a really nice torp drop there. But he underestimates it just on that first torp. But still, 4 torps, not bad. No, that doesn't really explain the damage, though. Because he should have been more damage, right? You would have thought so. He must not have proximity fuse, because that would have at least taken half of its health away. So he probably doesn't have proximity fuse on, which is unfortunate. $10,000, $11,000, not bad. And you just see the secondaries that are just racking up at this point. There goes Mr. Yohagi, up to 60,000 damage and climbing. Scharnhorst has just been one of those, you know, when it first came out, it was a ship that very few people knew how to fight against. And it was a good ship, a very good ship, and it still is a good ship. It's just one of those ships that is very tried and true. It has survived the years of game editions. It is still a very respectable ship. And it's one of the best German, you know, premium ops ships. I mean, Tirpitz is probably first. Scharnhorst is probably second. Is definitely second. Up to 92,000 damage. 5 minutes in. When you get that kind of damage, you know it's going to be a good match. Now, I would call it a little bit of cheating because I am running Lucians. But that's like saying a Flanders, or not a Flander, but a mine is cheating because it has Lucians. Perfectly legal in my opinion. Lucians is one of the best legendary commanders you can pick up for operations. Oh, that was just a kill still, wasn't it, folks? That was just a kill still. I still got 4 heals, 2 fighter planes left. I've still got plenty of health. But remember, Scharnhorst is a battle cruiser. She doesn't have armor like her sister ship Bismarck, so she can't really tank. She has to use her speed and everything to her advantage. But our Ignacio is a really good player. Really good player. He's been using his, you know, his surveillance radar, his Hydra, all very, you know, conservatively. You waiting for the right time to use it. I was honestly a little bit worried here because I didn't know if the DD had his torps loaded, and I was probably within range of his torps. Now I do kill it, and I turn out. Drop my second set. It's not even fair. 2 DDs down. Easy peasy. I pop a heal. And you can do this strategy of going for the cruisers with most ships. It's very easy. The only ones that I probably wouldn't try it with, well, of course you really can't do it with the tier 6 because it just doesn't have the speed to get from, you know, the cruisers to the DDs. So you can't really do it with the tier 6 DD, or tier 6 BB. Unfortunately, that's the only one you really can't do, but with most ships you can. Some tech tree ships, not really. Like the Francesco Carlio. The accuracy on that is just so mediocre that you could be point blank at probably the DDs, and you'd probably go all around it. Plus, the sap shells don't do much, so you'd be really losing. It wouldn't be worth it in the long run. Now, I honestly did thought our full beta was going to go for the airfields, because that's what I thought our full beta would do. But as you can see, he's just kind of hovering, and I'm glad he did hover because he was nice enough to drop a fighter for me, which I do appreciate. I really do appreciate that.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
Now, I don't know why I didn't have a fighter going or anything. I don't know why. Now, you would have thought that was a beautiful shot. You would have thought that would have been a Citadel. But I just overlet it just a tiny bit. Damn. Even I miss my strikes sometimes, folks. I'm not perfect. And I get lucky there. One Citadel. Not horrendous.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
And you can see the Mayoku's turning.
Enemy cruiser sighted. Torpedoes to
And
start.
I wait for them to make that to fully commit. And I shoot the Mogami, because he's the one that's fully committing. The dispersion is very beautiful. You get a nice, 10K salvo. So about maybe 16,000 on that, between those two salvos. And I finally get some daylight so I can actually see. I get real lucky there. A nice 20K salvo. Now I decided not to go for it. There's no point. I'm not gonna load. I'm just gonna put secondaries on it and do that. But I get greedy. I get real greedy. I mean, I kind of did all the damage to it, so it's like, is it my kill? Hypothetically, yes. But I'm not really being scared. I know the Hipper's moving in, so I'm going to push in and help support. And I'm going to get these broadsides. That really should have been, but I think the DD took some of my shells that were meant for him. Eight, 8,300, not bad. And this is what I stress about in all my videos. Positioning is key to any operation. If you're bottom tier, you really have to pay attention to positioning, like our Nuremberg. Now, I'm glad the Nuremberg is following me in. Sad thing is, Nuremberg is a really great ship to run on defensive Newport because you're mostly running away, and you're just farming at that point. And that's what the Nuremberg excels at, is farming.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Nice little 12K salvo there. Another good kill. And I do pick up the Mogami with my secondaries.
Cruiser destroyed.
And I put everything on the DDs, because I know those are going to be a pain. I know his engine's busted, so I aim short, so he just kind of pulls right into it. And shells miss. Now the Inacio is pushing in real hard too. So he's supporting me, so kudos to him. And my secondaries are going off on the airfield. Or at least on their batteries, at least. Inacio goes down to the Akizuki. Again, The one killer that everyone underestimates is the Akizuki. And I decide, okay, I've got to shoot the DD now. I can't be farming. He is so close to me that I'm like visibly scared. That's my natural selection.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
I honestly don't know why I didn't have HE loaded before, but I guess I just waited. It's whatever. And I've still got like 3 heals, so if I took like 2 torps, I'd still be able to fight.
Ship is on fire.
Secondaries pick up that. Kill.
Destroyer foundered.
271,500. Now my allies are going for the fort, for the airfield, so I'm not worried. Wuchen's heal pops off again, so I got plenty of health again. Double fire, so nothing too major. I killed like a Garo, thankful. I want to say his torps were pretty damn quick. I only got 3 fires on me. Ugh. Thankfully, we're at the end of the match, so it's not like it's gonna hurt. Now, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna torp the guy. I'm gonna torp it. And I'm thinking, are my torps even gonna hit? Yep, they're gonna hit. Boom, another kill.
Enemy destroyer sunk.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Now, I had HE loaded because it was like, you know, why switch the 2? So let's just fire it. Now, watch this next salvo. This is going to be my last salvo for the match. I go right through the guy's bow. 15,000.
Problem solved, sir.
331,000.